Welcome to Local Edition. I'm Bella Shaw. How do you find a new city manager? Do you use a recruiter? Do you look on Craigslist? Ventura City Councilman Neal Andrews joins us, and of course we're talking about the replacement of Rick Cole, who was there for 8 years, but then you had a temporary city manager for 3 months.
Yeah, we had Johnny Johnson, who had been the county executive officer. He came in on a temporary basis for $1 to help us out while we searched for a new city manager.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal at all. And Rick Cole wasn't a bad deal. He was a very economical person for us.
Very well respected.
Very well respected, yes. But we now have made an offer for a new city manager, and what we did was we hired a firm that specializes in recruiting high-level city executives. And they did a search for us. We specified that we wanted only a California person. And the reason for that is California law is so much different than other states that we wanted someone who was experienced in a California setting. We advertised, of course, in all the kinds of journals that city executives read and what have you. And they came up with a list of 28 potential candidates for us. We winnowed that down to 3. And then made our final selection. It was a unanimous choice of Mark Watkins, and it turns out that Mark actually lives in Ventura.
Perfect.
And so we won't have to pay any moving costs.
You're saving money already.
And he's currently the deputy city manager, assistant city manager in Thousand Oaks. But he used to work at one time in Ventura. He's a civil engineer, and over the years he worked first in our public works department up to became the manager of the maintenance services for the city.
So he's progressively worked his way up.
Worked his way up, and then the city of Thousand Oaks hired him as the deputy public works director over there, and then he moved up to public works director, and then he moved up to the assistant city manager. So he's had a progressive advance in his career, and we're very excited about having him.
When does he start?
Well, we are still negotiating the contract, so it'll be as soon as we can get him. And the question becomes, whether we finalize the contract and how much time he has to give his current employer to wrap up before he leaves.
You mentioned his background in civil engineering. Is that something pretty typical for the city managers and assistant city managers?
Actually, it's not. It's a relatively unusual background. I started out my career as a civil engineer. And no one would have expected me to have the career pattern I had either, because I went into healthcare. Strange,
segue.
Progressive. But no, it's not typical. Nonetheless, his ability as a manager is very clear from his progression, and that's the important thing.
That's what you liked about him. That's why he was a unanimous choice.
Well, I'm not sure why he was a unanimous choice.
For different reasons.
Every council member has different reasons for why they like somebody. And so, yes, he was a unanimous choice, and everybody liked him, but probably for slightly different reasons. In my case, it was because of his engineering and management background. Engineers think in very concrete ways, and they're methodical planners and methodical managers. And I think that's important.
You think he'd make an appearance on Local Edition?
I think he would.
Can you arrange that for us?
I can do that.
Okay.
As soon as we get him actually hired.
And it's a very lucrative position too, I might
well,
add.
yes,
that's for another day to talk about that. That's going to be another issue. We'll bring you out next time on that. Ventura City Councilman Neal Andrews, thank you so much for joining us here on Local Edition. I'm Bella Shaw. We'll see you next time right here.